Was that a blast or what? I said, was that a blast or what? Ladies and gentlefolks, it is my honor and my privilege to welcome you all to the closing ceremonies for CanFURence 2016. And let me start by pointing out the biggest reason this weekend was such a blast, not only for our attendees, but for all of us here who help make the magic happen, because we, like you, are attendees. These events are of the furries, for the furries, by the furries, and that is because of you. Seeing you having so much fun here, seeing you fill up our convention space almost to capacity, filling this main events room beyond capacity, having fun at all hours of the day and night. That was the biggest thrill of all, and it is the reason that we do this in the first place. Give yourselves a great big hand, the attendees of CanFURence 2016. And I would like to draw your attention one more time to someone to whom such attention has been drawn many a time. Far from being to her detriment, it is to her great and enduring credit. One who not only is one of the foremost names in the furry fandom for visual arts, but is also one who is known time and again to answer the call of conventions, to travel to them and to be at them, to support them in the most fundamental way possible. Ladies and gentlefolks, will you please give a rousing round of applause to CanFURence 2016's guest of honor, Heather Bruton! Sponsor prints and the Founders Circle signed and limited edition prints that will never again see the light of day. These and the t-shirts and the other swag and all the wonderful pretty things, these were because of Heather Bruton. She is one who is so generous that not only does she do all that we ask of her, she actually comes up and goes, say, our other conventions ask me to do this. Would you like that too? So once again, thank you so much for your support. And I can tell by the look in Sandy's eyes, that wonderful smile with you. We've got to go now. So thank you so much to you both. Thank you for supporting not only our convention, but the fandom for so many years. Thank you.
The logo is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. Really, really excellent logo. I just want to make sure everyone knew that.
Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it.
You want to stay here? Sure. Okay, I'll be right back.
That is Heather Bruton's travel companion and current partner in crime, Sandy Schreiber. And of course, closing ceremonies is a time for thank yous. However, we don't want to keep you in here all night saying thank you to each and every individual person, however much they richly deserve it, and richly deserve it they do. There is another reason, another factor in play, without which the magic can't happen. We have seen the one who bestowed upon us the beautiful front face of the convention, but we have not yet acknowledged the engine that drives the convention, without which there can be no convention. The individuals who step forth and selflessly dedicated thousands of hours of their time, and sometimes their own finances, their own travel expenses. I mentioned these are of the furries, for the furries, by the furries. What I mean is that we are not for profit. What that means, unlike a lot of larger events, we do not have people hired and paid to come here and work so that you can enjoy yourselves. CanFURence 2016 staff, stand up! to whom you owe the greatest debt of gratitude, without whom there can be no convention. And it is worth noting that many of them are also patrons, and yes, even members of our Founders Circle. Their generosity and their selfless dedication know no bounds. One more time, to the staff, volunteers, directors, and managers of CanFURence 2016, thank you. I knew you were all really tired, so you will sit down again. There is another group of individuals here that I would also like to thank. I'm thanking them by group, so don't fall asleep. These are the individuals who stepped forth, and as I mentioned, many of whom also worked at the event, but put forth themselves in a way that we have not seen, at least in this area. I can't say it is totally without precedent, but I wish, as we did in opening ceremonies, as we did during this sumptuous Founders Banquet, we wish to thank them one more time for their unprecedented generosity in support of CanFURence 2016. Those of you who are Founders Circle members for CanFURence 2016, please stand up.
I already am.
That sounded like someone who has some hot sauce on. We owe a great thank you to our Founders Circle, for whose generous support we are able to put on these events and put them on much better than we otherwise would be able to do. So thank you very much, and please, once again, feel free to be seated. So, I've been to one or two of these closing ceremonies. And let's have some ideas briefly from our audience of attendees. What sort of things did you come here to find out specifically at closing ceremonies?
Numbers.
Numbers?
Numbers.
Numbers. 42. That's a nice number. And the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Was that the number you were looking for?
I sold 420.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not yet. Just don't say anything about that yet. Okay? So, you might want to know some numbers. Numbers such as, say, we have, for instance, oh, right, yes. We have a charity that we are supporting this year. A charity that we supported so very, very well that we kind of went overtime and had to start closing ceremonies a little later. I do hope you accept our apologies. We were busy helping a bunch of helpless, homeless kitties. And there are those here who were generous beyond all expectation.
Oh, yeah.
So, I would like to have our charity staff member, if we can.
If I can get away from the dragon who keeps hugging me, yeah.
I'd like you to come up and say a few words, and we could also have Wolf come on up as well. And can we get a second microphone?
I was just getting comfortable in my chair.
That's why they made you get up.
Actually, I gotta get your contact info and yours for the call and stuff. I'll grab it before I.
Very well. So, if you'd like, I'll hand you the microphone. Please feel free to introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Del Roba, and obviously, as you can tell, I'm from the Ottawa Stray Cat Rescue. I just want to thank all of you for, helping us, and I am floored, really, by the amount of generosity of you people. The charity auction, I got a little misty, and I generally don't cry. QP, it's kind of her goal to make me cry before the end of this. Yeah, and the auctioneer actually there for a while couldn't talk because she was crying so much. But yeah, no, like you guys, it's insane the amount of money you guys have raised. Like Pet Expo last year, we made about $1,500. You guys blew that out of the water. Like, okay, I don't know exact numbers yet, but I know that I'm floored at the generosity.
That's
and
because the animals here
we
are
are
better than the animals at Pet Expo.
we are so
aren't they?
And
Okay, this time I'm ready.
basically, like, we don't have a facility where we keep them. All our cats go into foster care, so they have loving homes and everything. And your money also will be going towards helping some of the cat colonies we have here in town. We're big into the trap, neuter, release program. A lot of times cats that come by the colonies to get some food and all of that, we'll take them in and get them fixed up and assessed and figure out if they can go into foster homes or if they just want to go back to their colony for a while. We've had some of them so long that some of the really old guys, the like beat up old boys, they've actually decided to come inside after a while. But if you ever see a cat that it looks like its ear has, like the tip of its ear has been cut off, or it looks like there's a little triangle in it, that's actually, we mark them so they don't get caught again, because that means they are a feral cat. So please don't call the Humane Society on any of those guys. They're fixed, but this city has so many stray cats. Like, we actually always have a waiting list for fosters. Right now I think we have about 85 cats that are waiting to come into care. And your guys' donations, like, than like we do in a long, long time. I was asked what our fundraising goals for the year were, and when I asked Katie, the girl who runs it last night, she's like, good question. She's like, I don't know, our only goal is to actually have a balance in the bank. So she's gonna be very, very happy tonight. She will be crying later tonight when I took on. But yeah, just thank you everybody, like, for helping so much.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be our charity for CanFURence 2016.
I'm honored that you guys chose us as your charity. I've known QP for years, so she asked me to come here to do this, and yeah, her goal was to make me cry, and it's working. She's known me for years. She knows I don't cry.
You got a twofer.
Yeah, she's getting all misty again too.
And now they're triggering each other.
Don't look at me anymore. I won't look at you, and you don't look at me anymore.
I have someone else I'd like to introduce who is on stage with me today. We do go back a few years. Like I said, I've been to a couple of these, and well, so has Wolf here. As a matter of fact, he was a member of Fertile Equinox's board of directors and also was their head of charity. So he has no small amount of experience for this, and has a charity that is near and dear to his heart. And that is the Mississauga Humane Society. We are very, very appreciative that not only has he and his other half come to CanFURence from Mississauga, not only are they both members of our Founders Circle, but these two generous individuals, one of whom we have on stage with us here today, is also the one who stepped up and said, hey, I'd like to help out with your charity. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you to the one upon whose driver's license the legal name actually is Wolf. So I believe Wolf has a number for you. I know we went on a bit of a tangent there, but it is about numbers.
It is, just to be safe. That's what the minion brought in.
Okay, well, the minions
Just letting you know.
So this works. Okay, great. Yeah, charity, cats. That's what brought me on. Cats. Cats.
I brought the newsletter yesterday, and he started reading one story, and went, no, I can't do it anymore.
I shouldn't read those things. I really
Yeah,
shouldn't.
so it ended up costing him $1,500 today, I think, or something.
Money.
Yeah.
I don't want to say how much, but yeah,
Quite a
cats
bit.
cost me money.
Yeah,
Yeah, those sweet
He's one of
tears.
those water tears.
Sweet tears. So I do have a number. I won't say it's 100% accurate because who knows. So Art, there's like a few numbers here. That's yeah. I think that's it right there. I know there's like
This one here?
yeah, that one there. That one I don't know what that one is. I think that's.
Do you want me to read that number out?
I would like you to read it because you have the bigger voice and you sound more commanding than I do.
We don't have a drum roll for you, so let's just get straight down to the business, shall we? CanFURence 2016 has raised this year for the Ottawa Stray Cat Rescue $5,110. But wait, there's more. Can we please have Felly up to the front? I would like to introduce this individual, the one who, well, let's just say his business is pretty hot. This is Felly. He is the chair of one of our beloved events. We like to call them our close furry neighbor, What the Fur in Montreal. Is also a member of our Founders Circle. In addition to that, he runs Dark Bunny Sauces. He's been turning up the heat all weekend long, let me tell you. He also torched a terrified trash panda, as you may recall. And he has some news regarding the charity. So with no further ado, Felly, if you please.
See, before the convention, I don't know how many of you saw on Facebook and on Twitter and on Google+, I made a pledge that for every bottle of the closeted curly tail sauce that was sold during the convention.
Closeted curly tail, who could that be?
I think it's the one behind the bag over there.
It's in the bag.
Now, without naming any names.
Not at all, we would never name Conray. Oops, was that out loud?
I pledged that for every bottle of the closeted curly tail, as well as every bottle of the terrified trash panda, Dark Bunny Sauces would be donating to the charity. Conray also pledged to match every dollar up to 50 that was raised by Dark Bunny Sauces.
Yeah, we're not done giving you money yet.
Where do you people
So-
get all this money?
Wait.
I want to know where this tree is.
I told her the moment we
No.
hear about helpless animals, we say, shut up and take our money.
Therefore, to cover both what Conray pledged and the first portion, $100. That's my 50 and Conray's 50.
He's not done yet.
And thanks to you guys buying all the tasty hot sauce, another $100.
Keep it coming, keep it coming.
Shoot, I gotta use Kleenex.
Can I sell it?
It's up to you.
I sold a pea break.
So,
I sold tea.
I would just like to
can
say,
sell-
thank you to everybody here for pitching in by buying some of the sauce to contribute to this. Even though I wasn't directly involved in the raising of the funds, I've had a little bit of experience saying this, so thank you so much for supporting the charity. I do know how much the money can mean to an organization.
We also have a number from the Bucket Brigade. There was a little minion that kept nomming money all weekend long for the charity.
I don't see her right now, but the girl who was running around going, money,
A-Shep.
money, money.
A-Shep was running around with the bucket. Because A-Shep.
So as a result of the minions' efforts, along with that of Felly's Dark Bunny Sauces,
And
we
Conray.
and Conray, that brings the total to over $5,600 raised by CanFURence for the Ottawa Stray Cat Rescue. Thank you. $5,700. Thank you all.
And a lot of kittens getting food and stuff.
Thank you.
They're triggering each other. I actually said during the charity auction that that was a BOGO day today, so you get two for the price of one.
Stop looking at it. I know. You're all just gonna be crying.
And also, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for being the auctioneer who wouldn't let them out until the
She's a
bids
big
went
reason
higher.
we made as much as we did. Applause, guys.
that impressive set of numbers that we had for the charity. So, what other numbers might you be interested in, I wonder? Attendance. How would you like to know how many attendees we had this year? That didn't sound very convincing. Would you like to know how many of you that were here this weekend? Well, I'm not going to tell you. However, I will ask our head of registration, Purple Haze, please step up.
Thank you. Hey guys, so I just wanted to let you know that we enjoyed at registration seeing every one of your faces. We really had a great time talking with you and spending time with you. And I could ramble on and on and on and on and on for hours, but I know y'all are just interested in one number. I'll tell you that the number that I have exceeded my expectations for the con for a first year.
Oh my God.
Okay? So our grand total for our first year of our convention was 322 people at this convention. Give yourselves a huge round of applause.
Rocked the house this weekend. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how happy that makes me. All right, I'm going to just pass the mic off. Let you guys get finished with this opening ceremony.
Would you like to hear some more numbers? Because I was just alerted to the fact that we have another number. This is Firestorm 6. One or two of you might be familiar with the fursuits that he makes.
Build all those fuzzy butt things I can.
Yeah. Okay. And he also is in our fursuit track, so go ahead, Firestorm.
Out of that 300 plus, we had give or take a few 84 fursuits in the parade. Almost 1/3. Almost 1/3.
Thank you very much for that, Firestorm. Now, I'd like to ask our charity representative to hand me this phone for a moment.
I'm talking to the lady who runs the Ottawa Stray Cat Rescue right now.
Yes, the one in charge. She's just given the official news, and I would like to read her response. I hope I'm not violating the Privacy Act or anything.
No, that's why I brought it up to show you guys. Like,
Okay, let me see if I can do this properly. Are you freaking kidding? This is unbelievably amazing. I am in awe. I never expected that. That's because of you. Thank you. So we now know how much we have raised for the charity. We now know how many fuzzy butts managed to make it to CanFURence this weekend. And now that we know how many of us were here, let's talk about sampling. So do forgive us if there are one or two things that we overlook. Again, we don't want to keep you in here all night. I never thought I'd say this, but Zets, could you come up here for a moment?
Yay, more me.
Hey Zets, remember that microphone I said you couldn't have? Well, here you go. It's a special occasion. Feel free to tell them a little bit about the events that we had, and I'll put this on the table for you so you don't
my
knock it
curly
over.
tail. Okay.
You'll get it back after we're done, which means you have to be done in a reasonable amount of time.
All right. So how's everybody going? So did you enjoy the different panels and events that we proposed to you by the programming staff all throughout this event? Yeah. So I'm really happy to say that again for first year this completely blows my mind away. We managed to scramble in about 300 hours of programming hours, and then we can already tell you that we managed to squeeze even more for next year. A couple of highlights. We basically had a first science that gladly came to present at our con, and just for that panel, we managed to squeeze in 49 people inside this tiny little room at the back. And with some talks, we are officially inviting them over next year. but also to talk about more interesting panels, such as What's with the Porn? I have good skills. Beside that, we had like some nice gaming room that we saw lots of action during the night, so that was awesome. Had a whole bunch of different avian, cats, you name it panels. All of that was pretty good. And of course, we had our wonderful fursuit dance-off. How the heck was that? So, and again, I just wanted to thank you, everyone, to have been here. The panels doesn't fill with themselves. It would just do that. It'd just be someone speaking to an empty room. So that wouldn't make sense. You're the people that make the cons. If you keep coming and bring more people, your friends, your family, your mom, whoever, we will make sure to give you entertainment. But again, thanks to you. You are the star of this con, and you make me proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zex from our program team. All right, I'll trade you the mic for a bottle of hot sauce. Here you go, Zex.
I have a problem with that.
All right, and believe it or not, you attendees, you wonderful, wonderful folks, were not the only ones whose attention was drawn to CanFURence this weekend. We have a communications team who do yeoman's work to get the word out, to let people know that there is a new furry convention right here in the heart of Canada's capital. I would now like to turn the microphone over to my long-suffering co-chair, she from whom you haven't heard much because we decided, she shoved the mic at me and said, here, you do it. This is the one occasion I get to say, no, you've got to say something too. So, without any further ado, the co-chair of CanFURence, Quiet Pause.
I'm named Quiet Pause for a reason. All right, so we have been very busy flooding Twitter this weekend. We have been very busy flooding Instagram this weekend. We have been flooding social media everywhere. This resulted in a couple of things. This resulted in ARC doing an interview with CBC Radio with the lovely people from furScience. This resulted in them writing an article about us. And then it went national. Really? Yeah. This is amazing. We did not expect this, and this was wonderful. We were also contacted by other media outlets who wanted to speak with us, but we're holding off for now.
Play hard to get.
Exactly. So Ottawa knows all about us now, and they will be watching out for us for next year. Yeah. So watch out, Ottawa.
So it is official, CanFURence has arrived. Even the mundanes have taken note of our presence. And now I believe, didn't we have something else planned for them?
Yes, we do.
I wonder what that could be.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go find out.
Okay.
Excuse me, breaking down the fourth wall, breaking down the fourth wall, breaking down the fourth wall. Roll on ace.
Stop right there! I am on a never-ending quest to save my girlfriend, and I need that golden chalice.
Dude, it's just spray painted.
I was told if I got this stolen by a wizard, that I will be sent to get that cup, save my princess, get a kingdom, and I really want to be a king.
Hey, I want this cup. It's gonna give me back my vision and all sort of wonderful stuff. Arr. It's mine now. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Wait, guys. Okay, honestly, wait a minute. You know what? There's a place we can sell this. Honestly, I heard about a convention next year in Ottawa, 2017. Perhaps we can settle it there.
I'm kidding, it's mine!
Well, the furry fun never stops, and evidently the fur flies even when you're encased in plate armor. So we have a question for you. Did you have fun this year? Would you like to do this again next year? What do you think, KP? Should we do this next year?
Oh, yeah, we should absolutely do this next year.
All right, it is our pleasure, QP and I, to announce on behalf of the Board of Directors of CanFURence Anthropomorphic Events and our staff and volunteers that we have in fact already planned CanFURence 2017, which will take place right here at the Alt Hotel on November 10th to the 12th, 2017. Be here! Forgive me for saying this. I probably shouldn't be asking. They're not listening, are they? Okay. The thing is, I've done like maybe one of these, and I was just thinking, you know, is there something else they might want to know about? I kind of feel like we're missing something, you know,
Right.
something.
What
I don't
are we
know.
forgetting? I have no idea.
Any ideas, guys?
Theme! Theme of the charity.
Theme. Oh,
Do we need a theme?
we need one of those. I knew we were forgetting something.
I know, right?
Well, wait a second. I think those three had something going there.
Yes, it did.
Well, I don't know. What do they have in common? Let's see. We had a blind and rather angry raccoon brandishing a bottle of extremely dangerous hot sauce. We had, I think that was Indiana Chef, if I wasn't mistaken. And last but not least, we had the white tiger in shining armor. I think he was doing white knighting. I don't know about you. What do these three have in common?
It sounds like an adventure, doesn't it?
An adventure? Well, why not? Is not a furry convention an adventure after all? CanFURence 2017 Furry Adventure! I forgot to say something else. You know, we had, what's her name there? Oh, Heather,
Yeah.
right, yes. We had Heather this year. Well, we can't ask Heather to do this again next year. I mean,
No,
somebody's
no,
so
we can't.
generous. You think that might work?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Would that person happen? Can you spot them? Are they anywhere in the audience?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, we're going to call somebody up here, and unfortunately it's going to completely spoil the surprise, but I think you've been waiting in suspense long enough. Ladies and gentlefers, it is our pleasure to announce the official guest of honor for CanFURence 2017, Enya! Come on up, Enya!
Come on. There we go.
QB, once again, I will leave you to the introduction.
So, I approached her a while back and she said yes. Of course.
That's a good
And
sign.
her art is lovely and awesome and amazing. So we made a bunch of things. And they're in this room. In a case. Close to a curly tail.
Secret agent curl, secret agent curl.
Let's make its way up here. Come on, guys.
It's alright, I'm not in your sight.
All right. Shall we open this on 3? 1, 2, 3. It seems that we have a treasure trove of promotional buttons for you that will be available immediately after the closing of closing ceremonies. No, we told you, you can't keep all the shinies. No, not even most of them.
You'll get to do the button dance soon. I promise.
And well,
Yes.
well, another surprise. It appears that the adventure is starting a little sooner than anticipated. It seems that once you make your way out of closing ceremonies, which we now will guarantee you will only be in a few short minutes or less, we are pleased to announce that registration for CanFURence 2017 is already open.
Shocker.
I know.
And there's a price for only today.
That's right, we do have a special registration price, which is, I believe it is the same as our, what was it?
Early bird this year.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you do register tonight, you will enjoy registering at our early bird rate, which, for 2016, which after tonight will no longer be available.
Yeah. Reg will be getting ready for the next week, and then it will open up online. And who knows what will happen.
True enough, true enough. And, well, we have one last announcement regarding that. You're probably very well aware that this year, for our inaugural event, we had a special attendance level, a top level that I explained earlier during the closing ceremony, so I'll gloss over that. Founder Circle for our inaugural year. For CanFURence 2017, we also have a similar, actually identical, attendance level. For 2017, however, this attendance level will officially be named the League of Extraordinary Furries. It, like our Founder Circle, is strictly limited to the number, in terms of the number of participants. The reason is quite simple. We can't throw a banquet for that many furries, much as we would love to, and though we do also have our sumptuous patrons feast, that will not change either. We invite those of you who wish to step forward and join the League of Extraordinary Furries. You are more than welcome to do so, starting tonight. And now, unless we have anything further, we're all good to go. Everybody's all set and ready to go. I believe that cup is going to be chased around quite a bit before we decide who ends up taking it. You know?
Can I sell it?
That's possible, that's quite possible.
Just take her away. I'll sell anything.
Without any further ado, and with a heartfelt thank you from all of us for not only joining us here at closing ceremonies, but for making CanFURence 2017 the success that it is, I now officially declare CanFURence 2016 closed! There's good news though, we're gearing up for the dead dog. So stay tuned, there's more fun in store for you.